Hello everyone, myself Jyoti Sinha, Assistant Professor of Commerce and Management. Today we are going to discuss on the topic of aggregate planning, that means सामूहिक नियोजन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं यहाँ पे आप लोगों को मीनिंग ऑफ एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग बताना चाहूँगी. एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग इज अ मार्केटिंग एक्टिविटी दैट डज एन aggregate plan for the production process in advance of 6 to 18 months to give an idea to management as to what quantity of materials and other resources are to be procured and when, so that the total cost of operation of the organization is kept to the minimum over that period. जिसका मतलब ये होता है कि जो सामूहिक नियोजन या फिर एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग जो होता है वो एक्चुअल में एक ऐसा मतलब नियोजन है, एक ऐसी प्लानिंग है जिसमें कंपनी जो होती है वो प्रोडक्शन के लिए, स्टॉक के लिए और किसी भी तरीके के सेवी वर्गीय मतलब कि पर्सनल लेवल में पहले ही मतलब 3 से 12 महीने के पहले ही किसी भी प्रोसेस को करने के पहले, चाहे वो प्रोडक्शन से रिलेटेड हो, चाहे वो स्टॉक से रिलेटेड हो, चाहे वो पर्सनल लेवल से रिलेटेड हो, उसके पहले ही वो प्रोसेसिंग स्टार्ट कर देती है. So, aggregate plans act as an interface between strategic decision which fix the operating environment and the short-term scheduling and control decisional which guide the firm's day-to-day operation. Aggregate planning is an intermediate term planning decision. It is the process of planning the quantity and timing of output over the intermediate time horizon is 3 months to 1 year. So, aggregate planning typically focuses on manufacturing several aspects of operation, aggregate production, inventory and personal level to minimize cost over some planning horizon while satisfying demand and policy requirement. Intermediate term planning is normally performed in terms of aggregate production, units and resources. Hence the term aggregate planning rather than for individual products. Although in the intermediate term, major facility and process changes usually cannot be made using overtime work, subcontracting production, hiring additional workers, or even adding entire work shift can usually expand intermediate term capacity. This approach takes the demand pattern as given and focuses on minimizing cost. More recently, some organizations have expanded their view of aggregate planning to include coordinating supply and demand over time, using marketing tactics to create demand patterns that can be served more profitable. So moving, we are looking about objectives of aggregate planning. So there are two main objectives of aggregate planning. First one is to develop plans that are feasible and optimal. Feasible means that the plans should provide for the portion of demand that the firm intends to meet and should be within the financial and physical capacity of firm. Second is optimal. Optimal means the firm should aim for plans which will ensure that resources are used as wisely as possible and cost kept as low as possible. Second objective is to increase the range of alternatives of capacity use that can be considered by the management of the firm. अब हम यहाँ पे देखते हैं इसका डेफिनेशन क्या होता है. तो डेफिनेशन इसका दिया है कि एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग इज एन इंटरमीडिएट टर्म प्लानिंग डिसीजन. इट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ प्लानिंग द क्वांटिटी एंड टाइमिंग ऑफ आउटपुट ओवर द इंटरमीडिएट टाइम हॉरिजन 3 मंथ टू 1 ईयर. मतलब एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग वो इंटरमीडिएट टर्म प्लानिंग डिसीजन होता है जिसमें प्रोसेस जो होता है 3 to 1 ईयर तक का होता है. तो हम बाजू में इस डायग्राम में ये क्लियरली देख सकते हैं कि जो स्ट्रैटेजिक डिसीजन जो होता है 1 to 5 ईयर्स का होता है. जो हम लोग का शॉर्ट टर्म प्लानिंग होता है 1 to 90 डेज का होता है. बट एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग स्ट्रैटेजिक डिसीजन और जो शॉर्ट टर्म प्लानिंग का जो हॉरिजन टाइम हॉरिजन होता है उनके बीच 3 to 12 मंथ या फिर 3 to 13 मंथ के बीच में आता है. आगे हम देखते हैं स्टेप्स फॉर अ गुड एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग. सो यहाँ पर इसको 3 स्टेप्स में बांटा गया है. जो भी एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग उनके 3 स्टेप बताए गए हैं. सबसे पहला होता है फॉरकास्टिंग, सेकेंड वन इज आइडेंटिफाइंग द प्लानिंग वेरिएबल्स एंड थर्ड वन इज इम्प्लीमेंटिंग एन एग्रीगेट प्लान. सो फर्स्ट forecasting. Forecasting means the aggregate plan is based on satisfying expected intermediate term demands, so accurate forecast of this demand are necessary because seasonal pattern are usually important in aggregate planning. time series models that include a seasonal component are frequently used to make this forecast. In addition to demand, over the intermediate term, wage rates, material prices, and holding cost can change enough to affect the optimal plans. So, forecast of this quantities should be included in the plan. Frequently, these forecasts are relatively easy to obtain because they are specified in contractual agreements. Second step of a good aggregate plan is identifying the planning variable. That means the two most obvious aggregate planning variables are the amount of aggregate product to produce during each time period and the amount of direct labor needed. Two indirect variables that naturally result from planning this other quantities are the amount of product to add to or remove from inventory and the amount of the workforce should be increased or decreased in each period. The company may also have the option of scheduling overtime work, subcontracting production will another company, or transferring production to another facilities within a company. Third process is implementing an aggregate plan. In this stage we implement the aggregate plan, whole aggregate plan. So aggregate plan are normally generated using analytical, heuristic, or optimization method. They act as guides to decision making, but rarely are they fully realized in practice. During a planning period, employee may produce more or less than expected. Actual demands may not be the same as pre-decided. Predicted more employees may leave the company voluntarily than expected. More or fewer may be hired than expected. Sometime in inventory may be found to be damaged and unusable, and so on. Each of these variations means that at the end of the first period of the plan, the company is not likely to have the sum workforce and inventory level it expected. In addition, after a month of a quarter has passed, the predicted product demand, material prices, and even inventory holding cost may have changed. Therefore, the 6 or 12-month aggregate plan devised one period earlier may no longer be optimal for the next several months. अब हम यहाँ पे आगे देखते हैं कॉस्ट एसोसिएटेड विथ एग्रीगेट प्लान. जो मतलब एग्रीगेट प्लानिंग में जितने भी कॉस्ट एसोसिएटेड होते हैं वो कॉस्ट कौन कौन से होते हैं. तो सबसे पहले द चॉइसेस कंसर्निंग एग्रीगेट प्रोडक्शन, वर्कफोर्स एंड इन्वेंट्री लेवल influences several relevant costs. This cost need to be identified and measured so that alternative aggregate plans can be evaluated on a total cost criterion. Some of the cost item that may be relevant are such as payroll cost, cost of overtime, second shift and subcontracting, cost of hiring and laying off workers, cost of excess inventory and backlog, cost of production rate changes. So now we are discussing about approaches of aggregate plan. There are two approaches of aggregate planning. First one is top down approach, second one is bottom up approach. So an aggregate plan takes into consideration the overall level of output and the capacity that is required to produce it. There are two basic approaches to estimating the capacity that will be required to produce an aggregation or grouping of a company's product. First is top down approach. So top down approach to aggregate planning involve development of the entire plan by working only at the highest level of consolidator of products. It consolidates the products into an average product and then develop one overall plan. This plan is disaggregated to allocate capacity to product, families and individuals' product. The second approach is bottom up approach. Bottom up approach. A bottom up approach or sub plan consolidation approach involves the development of plans for major products or product families at some lower level within the product line. These sub plans are then consolidated to arrive at the aggregate plan, which gives the overall output, which gives the overall output and the capacity required to produce it. So, disaggregate of aggregate plans. Disaggregation is useful when we need to focus on breaking the aggregate into a smaller time frame. The result of disaggregation is a master schedule that lists equipment, human capital needs, timing, and product quantity in detail. As contrasted with aggregate plans, the master schedule is more detailed. It deals with individual product, not just product groups, and when they will be produced week by week. How should our aggregate output be subdivided among each of the products we produce? What mix of this product should comprise our aggregate inventories? This process of translating aggregate plans into plans for individual product is called disaggregation, a problem that has received surprisingly little formal attention. As a result, the dominant practice today involves disaggregation by cut and fit or trial and error procedures. Using forecast of individual product demands, trial amounts of each product are scheduled week by week. The resulting weekly total of outputs are then compared against aggregate requirements, check for their capacity feasibility, and revised accordingly. So the disaggregation process is not a simple procedure because there are several steps in the process and a variety of trade-offs that must be made before a final item by item production schedule is obtained. So there are some importance of aggregate planning. The first one is achieving financial goals by reducing overall variable cost and improving the bottom line. Next one is maximum utilization of available production facility. Third one is provide customer delight by matching demand and reducing wait time for customers. Fourth is reduce investment in inventory stocking. Fifth is able to meet scheduling goals, thereby creating a happy and satisfied workforce. There are three strategies of aggregate planning: level strategy, chess strategy, and hybrid strategy. So level strategy means, as the name suggests, level strategy looks to maintain a steady production rate and workforce level. Chess strategy means look to dynamically match demand with the production. Hybrid strategy means looks to balance between level and chess strategy. There are some factors affecting aggregate planning. The first factor is a complete information is required about available production facility and raw material. The second factor is a solid demand forecast covering the medium range period. Third is financial planning surrounding the production cost, which include raw material, labor, inventory planning, etc. Last factor is organization policy around labor management, quality management, etc. So thank you so much.